Welcome into the Sports Blitz social scene presented by Lee Marketing Group and the Sure Shot. I'm your host, Randy Lee Jr. The Sports Blitz social scene is a weekly one-on-one interview with coaches, players, even businesses that support athletics in our communities around Alabama. This week, we're at Show Your Colors at Benjamin Russell High School, where we'll catch up with numerous players, coaches, dance team, and band members. So let's go catch up with them.
The Sure Shot, located on Highway 280 in Alexander City, is Lake Martin Sportsman's headquarters. In the market for a new rifle or shotgun? Come to the Sure Shot. Want a new bow or need to practice with the one you have? Come to the Sure Shot. Thinking about a firearm for self-defense? Come to the Sure Shot. Got a hunt planned and need some gear? Come to the Sure Shot. For all your archery, shooting, and hunting needs, let the Sure Shot be your first stop.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Sports Blitz social scene, or Show Your Colors Day, or Media Day, or whatever you want to call it today. It is all part of the Show Your Colors event going on in Alexander City, which is about 9 days long. It's a lot of fun every single year. It's scorching hot right now, but that's Alabama in the summertime, so what are you going to do? Right now I want to welcome in my good friend Dale Bloodworth, who is the band director for the Alexander City BRHS Marching Band. How you doing today?
Doing great.
Listen, Dale, we could talk all about the band, and we could talk about who you got coming back. We could talk about who you're going to rely on as a senior. But it's not as sexy sometimes when you do that with the band versus football. But I want to know more about your story. I want to know where you come from, how you got to Alexander City, all those things.
I was an Army brat. We moved around a lot when my dad was stationed overseas, Texas. I was born in Illinois. We settled around retirement time for him in Western New York, and I spent 6th grade to 12th grade there in a small school, a community about the size of Dadeville. Up in the north, there's a really good art scene because we spend 7-8 months of the year inside because it's winter for 7 or 8 months inside. So I was exposed to a lot of music early in school, and liked all kinds of music. I enjoyed singing, and didn't get a chance to play an instrument until I was nearly in high school. And I just had a fabulous band director, and we always listened to a lot of music, and he got us involved with with playing for musicals in school. And we had a nice little jazz band, and we did parade band. We didn't have a marching band. We didn't play football at our school. So I just a little bit at a time did that, and I had a couple other friends. We got really excited about soundtrack music. I think our generation grew up with the Star Wars things, just like this. Our current kids have grown up with Harry Potter. Even that middle generation could say that. But just really got excited about the instrument sounds I had, and as I started to learn to play an instrument and realized it was something I could do, I just fell in love with doing it. I started school at RIT in Rochester, New York. I had delusions of being an engineer. I had good grades and was a good student. I hated it. I enjoyed the science. I just didn't enjoy the go, and it was super competitive. And if we're going to do something competitive, I wanted to be around sports, and I really wanted to go somewhere where there's a big marching band. It was just a very romantic thing, and yet, I'd see it on TV on Saturdays, and I'm like, I really want to do that. My father retired in Jacksonville down here out of McClellan, and my stepbrother was starting the fall after I started school, and I just said, you know what, I'm just going to pack my car and I'm going to transfer to Auburn. That's where he was. And then it was really, I won't say it was on a whim, but I packed my car and I left, and I came down and started at Auburn. So that's how I landed in Alabama.
Well, when you've been part of an Army family, you're kind of used to moving around. You may even have the itch to move around a little bit. But you've made a home here. You've been band director for, is this your 20th year?
20th year.
And is there a year that is more memorable than any other, or do they all sort of go together? Do y'all have the same feeling about them all?
There was, I was really fortunate to have both my kids in the band at one time. Actually, for a couple years, I had my youngest Shelby participate with us as an 8th grader. So. They got to be in band together for 2 years, and that second year was pretty special. great kids, Sydney's senior class kids that she had grown up with, and we're kind of having one of those now. Shelby's a senior now, and I've grown up with. We've grown up and raised our family here with all these kids at our house and playing ball together and those type things. So it's a lot of memories.
I was teasing a little bit earlier talking about that you don't talk about who you have returning on the band like you talk about who you have returning on the football team. But for you, I'd be willing to bet you keep up with a lot of the former students that you had. I mean, it's just like a football coach in a sense that if somebody comes back to you from the class of 99, you probably remember them and remember where they played and how good they were, et cetera, right?
A lot of them, and I won't lie to you. After having taught for 24 years now, there's some anonymous faces in there, but I remember a lot of faces, and I remember a lot. I especially remember obviously kids that come back and say thank you. Sometimes you just never know. What you may have said or how you may have encouraged someone, and you may think that you just rode their butts all the time, but it wasn't necessary. It was something that meant something to them. So those are the real great memories that I have. The students that come back, or the ones that are just thank you for making it, thank you for caring about it, thank you for pushing me.
What value would you gain working with Lee Marketing Group? With 4 divisions under one umbrella, Sign Source, Lee Apparel, R&B Sports Media, and LMG Advertising Agency, Lee Marketing Group offers a comprehensive approach. From logo design, tees and signs, ad placement, and everything in between, LMG can handle it all. For ease of time, cutting-edge, results-driven marketing campaigns, think LMG. Lee Marketing Group, your comprehensive marketing solution.
Completely loaded question I'm about to throw out there, and maybe even a little bit dangerous, and it may get edited out, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Can you give me the most famous alumnus of the band that you have taught? Who is somebody that maybe has gone on to do some big things from BRHS, and people would go, wow, I didn't know they played in the band when they were here?
Well, there are a few. I don't know if I can have a most. It's not really a dangerous one. We've had lots of kids go on to do a lot of music, and I could call some of them out, but I'll just try to think a little bit chronologically. I had a student, Anthony East, who teaches bass and works as a freelance musician in the Atlanta area now. Anthony was a real handful as a band student, but a super talented musician and does a great job. Madison Argo ended up being drum major at Auburn University. I have several students that are back teaching with us now. I don't think there's any higher achievement for a kid than to come home and teach in their own community. So we have several students here, and if I start naming them, I'm going to forget some. But there are
That's why it's dangerous.
Yeah, there's an awful lot of students teaching here. We have one that just graduated recently. Johnny Warren is teaching elementary music at Jim Pearson, who's joined our staff, and he was. He graduated in 2009, I believe, and he's back working with the marching band now. So, I have a lot of students like that.
Gives you a lot of pride, I know.
Oh, yeah.
Gives you the pride. Yeah. I mean, really. And Madison Argo, just as a side note, his dad works for us, and I've known him for a long time. Just one of the best kids you could ever know. And he took a lot of pride in his time here at BRHS and being part of the band, and I know that he's certainly one of the ones that you were talking about.
Here's an interesting story about Madison. His senior year, he really wanted to be drum major of the band here, but we were really weak in the trumpet section, and I asked him if he would consider just to play trumpet, because he was going to make drum major. There was not going to be a doubt, and I left it in his hands. If he was going to be drum major, he was going to be drum major, but he chose to do what the band needed him to do. And I don't, as far as a happy teacher moment, I don't think I could have been happier for any student ever as when he earned the spot at Auburn to be drum major.
It's just like a football team. I know it seems so cliche to say something like that, but how many times has a football coach gone to somebody who's a great quarterback and said, look, we need a wide receiver, we got another quarterback? And same thing here with the band. And Dale, you're just doing an amazing job. You don't get to stay at a place 20 years unless you're doing something right. And everybody in the community appreciates you. And you guys are out there, just like the football players, in this scorching heat. Y'all are about to get it cranked up, right? Have y'all even started?
Yeah, we've already been practicing.
And I mean, just as you start practicing, the temperature's soar, and everybody's out there and it's hot and they're tired. What is going to be your theme this year for the band?
We are doing it's kind of a Spanish theme, but it's got some soundtrack stuff in it and some classical stuff in it. It's called Vida, Amor y Toros, Life, Love, and Bulls, and we've got some music from The Mask of Zorro. Some Spanish folk songs that we've heard. One famous one in the there's a famous iPhone commercial with the old dude on the high dive with his. We're playing some of that in their habanero from Carmen, which sounds kind of highbrow, but everybody's going to know what it is. They're going to recognize.
I like. Is it going to have some trumpet solos? I kind of like that.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of solo stuff in it, and some stuff from Man of La Mancha, from the.
How do you come upon your themes? Do you choose it every year? Do you get the students involved and say, what direction would you guys like to go?
The students are involved in only in that part of it, only as far as, they really show me their strengths and weaknesses as they grow up each year. The staff and I sit down and talk about what would we like to do. We try not to get in a rut of doing the same thing over and over and over and over. So, we've done prog rock and did some 80s stuff, and we did emo 2000s Gen X stuff last year, and we tried it. We've done Beatles, we've done jazz, we've done soundtracks, we've done movies. So we just try not to get in a rut, just try to be entertaining.
Well, you certainly are that. I know everybody has a good time. Halftime is usually one of those times you get up and stretch, but I've noticed when I go to BRHS home games, everybody sort of tends to sit in their seat. They like watching you guys, and you're doing a fabulous job, and we really appreciate you, and thanks so much for being on with us.
Appreciate it.
That was Dale Bloodworth, the band director for BRHS. He's done an amazing job for 20 years now. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in just a minute with more from Show Your Colors.
June will mark 10 years of providing quality T-shirts, athletic uniforms, and promotional products for Lee Apparel. Our success is due in large part to the customers we serve in the Lake Martin community and the great state of Alabama. Our hopes are for many more years of success and growth. Contact Lee Apparel today at 256-825-0197 or on the web at leeapparel.com. Thanks for tuning in to this week's Sports Blitz Social Scene. Special thanks to our sponsors, the Sure Shot on Highway 280 in Alexander City, as well as LMG in our 4 divisions, Lee Apparel, Sign Source, LMG Advertising Agency, and R&B Sports Media. If you have ideas for future shows, please contact me at randy@sportsblitzlive.com. Until next week, thanks for tuning in to this week's Sports Blitz Social Scene.
So, you may not know it, but you've seen our work everywhere. For a combined 50 years, SignSource has been Central Alabama's premier option for all your sign needs. Custom signs for your business, club, or organization. Wraps and decals for your vehicle or boat. Full-color banners for your big sale, or a photo collage on canvas for grandma. All with fast, friendly, prompt service. Check out our website at signsourcenow.com. 888-533-6758. Go straight to the source. SignSource.